Welcome back to Dual Sided. We're back, in NFL news or NFL rumors, you could call it. What is it? What's going on in the NFL?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, he reportedly wants to be in Denver, according to his former teammate in Houston, Kareem Jackson. He went on Aqib Talib's podcast, Catching Fades, and, Aqib brought up, they were talking about the Broncos. He brought up that he honestly saw that the Broncos were going to end up with Deshaun Watson, and then that's when that's when you guys will see what KJack said back.
Y'all gonna have Deshaun soon.
Yeah, I got a great relationship with Deshaun. I've been talking to him the last couple of weeks, man, and like all he's been telling me is like, look, Jack, just tell him like that's where I want to be. Like that's where I want to be. I'm like, man.
He see the setup, the line straight. He see the setup.
He like, man, listen, that's why I want to be in Denver. He's like, and like during the time while I was going through, my little free agency thing, and then I end up signing back here. Before I signed, he called. He was like, man, are you gonna sign? I was like, I don't know. I ain't sure yet. He was like, well, let me know what you gonna do, whatever. And I signed back. He like, listen, man, tell him that I want to be in Denver. So I'm like, hey, man.
Hey, y'all hear it, man? You know what Sean would be. Y'all hear it? Y'all hear it? We catching fades, baby.
So, yeah, obviously, it's pretty weird to be talking about Deshaun Watson, obviously, with 20 plus cases, and civilly against him. So you don't think it's fair that you don't think that we should be talking about him in the football side of things right now, huh? You think it's his off the field stuff has to get settled before we start talking about this stuff?
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I think one was thrown out, so I think there's 22 or 21 remaining. And it is civil cases, so you're not going to see jail time, I don't expect, unless some women choose to go press criminal charges, which in my opinion that would probably end his career in the NFL. It's a good thing for him that it is a civil thing, civil suit. Although it is 22 or whatever it is right now, there's talks that has been settling cases. And the deposition is set, or the deposition can't be deposed before February 22nd of next year, 2022. So, that's a ways away. The NFL is gonna launch its own investigation. They're probably gonna put him in. They're probably gonna suspend him or put him in a league or exempt list. The commissioner's exempt list. So obviously we can both agree that his career in Houston is done. Huh?
Of course, yeah.
He requested a trade back in January. He hasn't been happy in Houston. With how things are ran over there, it's pretty dysfunctional. I can agree with that. But obviously, March, it was a couple women came forward, and then it was like an avalanche. A bunch of accusations came up, and obviously, we're at 22 right now, and obviously back in March, there was a lot of trade talks that they were probably going to trade him before the draft, and there's teams like the Niners. They probably, if they knew that Deshaun wouldn't have, if Deshaun wouldn't have been in all this criminal trouble, they probably would have made the trade for him. But instead they traded up from 12 to 3 to take Trey Lance. Obviously, he's been linked to Denver ever since. There was a tweet that he liked back at the beginning of all this in March 1st. The tweet said that, I think it's in Spanish. It basically translated to, I had a dream that Deshaun Watson went to the Broncos and dreams become true. and he obviously liked that, but he unliked it later. So take that for what you will. Ian Rappaport, he had something to say after Kareem Jackson. He after he said that Deshaun wants to be in Denver, he tweeted, "Quarterback Deshaun Watson has been getting recruited by former teammates and countless players across the NFL, and he remains open to several options, including the Broncos. But I don't believe Denver is where he wants to be, just one possible spot." So, Kareem obviously could have made up a part of that story just to, I don't know, you don't think Deshaun would have won? You don't think he would have been too happy with Kareem coming forward and basically giving away his plan to go, to get traded to Denver, huh?
Not unless he gave him the okay, but I don't know why he would.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. Kareem, he seemed pretty straightforward. I don't know how he would lie about that. And Ian Rappaport, obviously he's one of the best reporters in the NFL. So either one of them is lying, or what Rappaport is saying is the Broncos are a team that to look at as a possible trading partner. But right now, obviously, it's no team in their right mind can trade for him right now until all his cases get settled, and obviously it's gonna be. This is gonna have to come after next year in February 22nd. So, obviously there's gonna be a bunch of rumors from now to then, bunch of reports about teams trying to trade for him. Miami's brought up a lot, which I really don't know why. Philly, I see a possible destination. But I think Carolina is probably if Sam Darnold doesn't work out with them or for them, I see Carolina going after Deshaun. Back in March, I was definitely very excited for, the Deshaun Watson news to come out, whether they were going to trade him, and that obviously came before all those allegations came out. But I honestly don't see us trading for him, even if the cases get settled, because, obviously there's a big red flag with having a player like that in the locker room. You think that would be a huge distraction to have, someone with that sort of baggage in the locker room, huh?
Not just in the locker room. I think he shouldn't. If he's found guilty, I don't think he should be in the NFL.
Yeah, and obviously, that could be true. That could happen, but civilly, I don't see. Yeah, if these were criminal cases, I definitely would think that he would be done in the NFL. But it's civil cases, so he could get them settled. But I just don't see how Denver, out of everyone, Denver is a very, I don't want to get into politics, but they're a very liberal city, and I don't think that the public would agree, or the media or the fans would welcome this idea of bringing in someone, a person who has been accused of the things that he's been accused of. So that could be a huge distraction. And another thing, another reason I don't think that they go after Deshaun Watson is, George Paton, GM Broncos, he had a chance to draft Justin Fields at 9, and he apparently didn't have the balls to draft him. What makes you think that he's gonna go after a quarterback with, obviously a talented quarterback to say the least, but a player with this much baggage? I just don't see it happening. Just gotta hope. There's Aaron Rodgers is out there. They're probably gonna trade him after this season. Between the two, like, Deshaun Watson versus Aaron Rodgers, who would you take? Like, but taking Watson's allegations off the table, who would you take?
Probably, obviously, Watson. Obviously, he's a young guy.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson is in his mid-20s, whereas, you know, Rodgers is 37. You're maybe going to get 4, maybe 5 years. Whereas, you know, with Deshaun, you're getting 10-plus years. So, you know, obviously, you know, if this was a debate back in March before the allegations came out, I would definitely say Deshaun Watson, and that's nothing against Aaron Rodgers. He's, you know, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But, you know, with Deshaun Watson, you're getting 10-plus years of, you know, being able to compete in not only the AFC West, but the whole NFL. And, you know, it just, you know, it's honestly a shame to, you know, that this has gone on. But, you know, Aaron Rodgers, he's out there. I definitely see him being a possible, you know, a possibility after the season, not before the season or during the season. But, you know, we'll see. You know, but, you know, if there's news that come out about Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers for that, you know, we'll keep you guys updated. Follow us on social media down below at DUALSIGHTED. Like the video, subscribe.